What's up everybody, WayoftheBey here, and today we have the B157 Bigbang Genesis. So Bigbang Genesis is the villain for GT, the main boss Beyblade that the rival and the main character have to battle. So Bigbang Genesis, just like Longinus, Spriggan Requiem, Dead Phoenix, is the main boss Beyblade. This Beyblade does seem a lot like Dead Phoenix, an upgraded version of one of the Beyblades that was a defense type, Revive Phoenix to Dead Phoenix, Regalia Genesis to Bigbang Genesis. So first we're going to look at the box and then we'll go over everything inside. So in the front we have Bigbang Genesis. This is made by Takara Tomy, so not Hasbro. Then on the side we see Bigbang Genesis with the Bigbang armor, which is pretty much in addition to the Infinity Lock Beyblades, Prime Apocalypse, Regalia Genesis, and Bigbang Genesis. So this adds on to them and makes them a lot stronger. And I'll go over that when we're looking at the piece itself. Then on the side we see the character that uses Bigbang Genesis, Gwyn. Over here we see the defense logo, burst, right spinning, and GT logos. Then when we go to the box we see all the stats and pieces that come in this set. So first, looking at the pieces, we do see it comes with the Bigbang armor, which is right here. Then the Bigbang Genesis layer, which is an Infinity Lock Beyblade, just like Regalia Genesis and Prime Apocalypse. Then we have the Zero Disc and the Yard Metal driver, which is sort of a new driver, just an upgraded version of the original Yard. Instead of the plastic ball being right there, it is now metal, just like Orbit Metal, so it is now Yard Metal. Then we have the Bigbang armor in action. It is very similar to the Phoenix armor, but instead of it coming off, it stays on. And I'll go over that when we're looking at the piece. So now that we've looked at everything on the box, I'm going to open it up and show you what comes inside. And we have everything out of the packaging. So first off, I did already put the stickers on what needed to be put on. I'll show you. So the driver sticker, like always, that's something you always have to do. So there's a driver sticker and the armor right there, and that's all there is. It was easy and I got it done. Nothing on the layer, the disc, just the armor and the driver, and it's super easy to do. If you do not know where to put it, just you saw right there, or just check the instructions. The instructions do a great job of telling you where to put the stickers. So then you also get the customized guide, so combos you can do with the Beyblades, then what's coming and what's already come, Master Diabolos, and the random booster that has all the gold Beyblades in it. So now looking back at the Beyblade. So first we're going to go over the driver. So the driver is Yard Metal. So not the original Yard, it's Yard Metal. The plastic ball has now become a metal one, and this should change how it works in the stadium. This is just like Orbit, from Orbit to Orbit Metal. So this will affect how it does in the stadium. Yard is a pretty decent defense type driver. Maybe in its metal form it'll do a lot better than its original Yard. So that is Yard Metal. We're gonna have to see how it does in the stadium. Then we have the Zero Disc. The Zero Disc is pretty good competitively, well balanced, so really nothing wrong with this disc. Except there's a lot of Zero Discs, but you can never have too many Zero Discs. It's a really good competitive piece, and it should do pretty well with the Bigbang Genesis Beyblade. And then we have Bigbang Genesis, the layer itself. So looking up close, it looks very evil, very dark, and it has a lot of spikes and stuff. And it does look a lot like the Regalia Genesis Beyblade that we had, but eviler, and has more spikes and stuff. So comparison right there, we see the two different Beyblades. They have the same mechanism, same system, how it works. So all the flaws that this base has, this base will have also. And I'll go over that when we're going over the Beyblade. But they're tiny flaws, nothing too big. So it's fine. The Beyblade's great and looks awesome. So looking around it, it's a pretty cool and awesome looking Beyblade. So this is Bigbang Genesis, the upgraded version of Regalia Genesis. Same gimmick, Infinity Lock. Now this is the combo, the stock combo that Bigbang Genesis comes in real life. In the anime, Bigbang Genesis comes with the hybrid driver. So in the anime, you're going to be seeing Bigbang Genesis with the hybrid driver. These two pieces aren't going to show up. It's going to be the hybrid driver. And the reason Takara Tomy didn't give us another hybrid driver is we already have one, and a hybrid dash would be disappointing. So it's pretty cool seeing Yard Metal. I'd prefer Yard Metal than hybrid dash, because hybrid is already going on an Infinity Lock Beyblade, which makes it a lot harder to burst. So it's kind of fine that we didn't get a dash form of it. But this is the anime stock combo, and this is the real life stock combo, for those of you wondering. And we will be testing out the hybrid driver with Bigbang Genesis when we're test launching. And then we're going to be taking a look at the Bigbang armor. So the Bigbang armor pretty much goes on the layer and locks up the weak points to where the weak points no longer go in until you push in, until you hit the base to where it moves. Then the weak point is activated. So let's put the Beyblade together. Alright, so all of it's together. Now the only way the armor comes on is if the center is all red. It'll only click when it's red, because that's when it's weak. Its weak points are pushed in when it's red. So you grab the armor, you put it on these 2 points. It's the same thing for Prime Apocalypse or Regalia Genesis. This goes on all 3 of the Infinity Lock Beyblades. You put the base right there, then you push it down, and it should go down like this, and it fits right there. Then all you do is right here, you're going to see, let's focus, right here, you do see a little arrow, and both of these should line up. And when it lines up, it should pop, you should hear click, and now the Infinity Lock is in act. The weak points are gone unless you hit this base sideways, which releases the weak points, and now the Beyblade is able to burst. So all you have to do is just move it side to side. When it's in the center, there. When it's in the center, weak points are inactive, doesn't work, and it adds a whole new element to the burst stopping Beyblades. This is kind of like a DLC to the Sword and Shield Beyblade, Regalia Genesis and Prime Apocalypse. So pretty good. This should make Regalia Genesis, Prime Apocalypse, and the Bigbang Genesis Beyblade a lot stronger and harder to burst. So all we're really going to have to worry about now is survivor finishes and ring out finishes. So when it's lined up completely, the weak points are inactive. When it's moved to the side, then we have a chance. Whenever the armor gets to the side, the Infinity Lock Beyblade just works like how it usually works. You have a chance of bursting it. Nothing too special, except now you have wasted a lot of stamina, and now your chance of bursting it is very low. So this armor will definitely change how Prime Apocalypse will work in the stadium, because Prime Apocalypse, very hard to burst. It's rare that he bursts. He does burst, but it's hard to. And with this armor, Prime Apocalypse is going to be a lot stronger. And I'll show you, it works the exact same way on Prime Apocalypse. So to take the armor off, you put it back on how it originally came on, and you just pop it off. There we go, and it comes off. So let's grab Prime Apocalypse. Now, like I said, center has to be red, completely red for the armor to fit on. Put the armor here, click it, you're going to hear it go in. You should see the sides go in. Click it again, make sure it's all centered, because that's one thing you have to watch out. If it's not centered, or it'll be useless, won't be working. Now, for those of you wondering, will this armor come off? Yes, it can. If it gets hit hard enough where it goes this way for some reason and comes off, then it can. Or if you don't put it on right, you put it on lightly, it can get hit off easily. It can just get hit off. So you gotta make sure it's in there, it's clicked, and the chances of anything bad happening are very low. When it's in the center, the Infinity Lock mechanism is, gotta set it up, there we go, is on. There we go. And now it's a lot harder to burst. This weak point is not going in at all. So, yes. Now, the problem with Bigbang Genesis, which I'm going to go over, it's the same problem that Regalia Genesis had, and kind of like a flaw in its system. It's like I said, it can burst even though it's not red. When it's red, that's when its weak points are in. Now, if you put the Beyblade right here, Like it's right here. The disc is right there. It shouldn't burst. If you put enough pressure on the two weak points, you can burst it. It shouldn't burst, but that's possible. And we're gonna take it off, check the back, and as you can see, those two pegs right there aren't lined up to those. The only time it bursts is if it's lined up here. That's one flaw this Beyblade has. Now, you have to put a lot of pressure on it, so the chance of it bursting against a Beyblade is low. If it gets hit hard enough, yes. But with this Big Bang armor, you don't really have to worry about it anymore, because the Big Bang armor just takes all our problems away. It's an awesome armor. It should make these Beyblades a lot stronger. So we are going to be testing launching Big Bang Genesis with the original stock combo, and then with the hybrid stock combo. So now we're going to do that right now. Alright, so we are at the basic Takara Stadium. We're going to be test launching Big Bang Genesis with its original combo. Alright, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, so how it moves like a normal defense type. So it goes in the center, seems pretty balanced how it's spinning. So now that we know how it's going to do with its original combo, let's put the hybrid driver on it. Alright. So you do have to put the armor sideways and all that. Alright, now we have the hybrid driver on. Let's turn it on. Oop, that was a bad one. Alright, ready. 3, 2, 1, there. So it should move the exact same way as Regalia Genesis does. But with the armor, it should make this a lot stronger than Regalia Genesis. Alright. So while the hybrid driver is on Big Bang Genesis, we are going to put it up against Union Achilles. So there was a little bit of shrinkage. But the hybrid driver does give a little more stamina sometimes, and that was actually a draw because when Big Bang Genesis was going low, it stopped Union Achilles in its tracks. So we're going to try that one more time. Finally, alright. So both are in there. Yard Metal actually is moving really nice around the stadium. Has a good movement. Now you can make a lot of combos with Big Bang Genesis, the armor on Apocalypse and stuff to make them stronger than they were already. That was a survivor finish. Didn't have enough stamina. So both Beyblades died at some point, but so far just seeing Big Bang Genesis. Those weren't official battles, those are hard to do. But when we do official battles against other Beyblades, 2-player battles, we will be seeing the power of Big Bang Genesis. Just as of right now, with the hybrid driver and all that, Big Bang Genesis with the Big Bang armor seems really nice. And as you saw right there, the armor was down here. It got hit down there, so it does get hit. So that's one thing that does make sense. This does work. So can't wait to see how this will do on Prime Apocalypse, Regalia Genesis, and Big Bang Genesis itself. So we will be doing more battles. Let me know in the comments who you want to see Big Bang Genesis go against. Can't wait to do battles with it. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching Way of the Bay.